I know who killed JonBenét. There's no doubt in my mind who killed JonBenét. And while this investigation is still ongoing, I don't think it's appropriate that I say that name out loud.
Well, whoever did this is, crazy, demented human being. Crazy. It's like I was criticized for disturbing the crime scene when I found JonBenét.
December 26, 1996. Boulder, Colorado. A little girl's bed lies empty. A ransom note demands $118,000. A family's world collapses. JonBenét Ramsey, just 6 years old, is dead, strangled, her skull fractured, her body hidden in a basement. For nearly 3 decades, the world has chased answers, but now new evidence emerges, more disturbing than anyone dared imagine. It points to a name, a shadow in the house that night. Burke Ramsey, her 9-year-old brother. Was it an accident gone wrong? A family cover-up? Or a truth so dark it's been buried for 28 years? One thing is certain. This case is far from cold, and what's coming will leave you speechless.
I want them to know everything possible.
Everything.
That can help them.
Whatever they want, whatever anyone wants, we will cooperate.
Said, if I were to ask you to take a lie detector test, what would you say? And I said, I would be offended.
The JonBenét Ramsey case is a maze of lies, secrets, and silence. But new clues are tearing down the walls. A Boy Scout knife, a bowl of pineapple, a mysterious boot print. Each piece whispers a story the Ramsey family didn't want told. Tonight, we unravel the evidence that points to Burke, the Stein family's strange loyalty, and a system that let a killer slip away. Don't miss the truth. Subscribe now to follow every chilling revelation before it's buried again. If you hesitate, you might lose the key to JonBenét's justice forever. It begins with a scream.
Police. What's going on? 515th Street.
What's going on there, ma'am?
We have a kidnapping. Hurry, please.
Explain to me what's going on, okay?
There's a note left and our daughter's gone.
5:30 a.m., Patsy Ramsey finds a 3-page ransom note on the back staircase, scrawled on her own paper, demanding $118,000, the exact amount of John Ramsey's Christmas bonus. Her daughter, JonBenét, is gone. Patsy dials 911, her voice trembling, but something's wrong. She says we found the note, not I. Faint voices linger on the call. John's, perhaps Burke's, though they swore he was asleep. The note warns against calling police, yet Patsy calls anyway. And John? He's calm, too calm, flipping through mail in the kitchen while his daughter is missing. Why? What did they know that morning that they've never said? Detective Linda Arndt, the only officer on scene, feels the air thick with unease. John and Patsy don't comfort each other. No hugs, no tears together, just distance, like strangers bound by a secret. Friends flood the house, trampling evidence, whispering behind closed doors. Linda watches John, his composure unsettling. He sorts envelopes, checks his watch, but never the clock for the ransom deadline. It passes in silence, no call, no panic, just a fog of stillness. Was this a kidnapping? Or a performance?
I know who killed JonBenét. There's no doubt in my mind who killed JonBenét. And while this investigation is still ongoing, I don't think it's appropriate that I say that name out loud.
How did he strike you?
Cordial.
Cordial?
Mm-hmm.
Upset?
Cordial.
Distraught?
Cordial.
Did it strike you at all that that was behavior that was unusual for somebody whose child was just kidnapped?
It's been my experience that people respond to trauma in different ways. So if someone has a response that is different from mine, I don't put judgment to it, I'll just note it. I remember seeing John in the kitchen, looking through his mail, and I made a note that he was looking at his mail, and then I wondered, where did your mail come from?
Burke Ramsey, JonBenét's older brother, was home that night. The Ramseys swore he slept through it all, but new evidence tells a different story. A bowl of pineapple sits on the kitchen counter, untouched by John or Patsy, but bearing Burke's fingerprints. JonBenét's autopsy reveals pineapple in her stomach, eaten hours before her death, contradicting her parents' claim she went straight to bed. Was Burke awake? Did he share a late-night snack with his sister? And if so, what happened next in that quiet house?
In the basement, where JonBenét's body was found, a Boy Scout knife, Burke's knife, lies near the crime scene. A white nylon cord, cut with that knife, forms the garrote that strangled her. A high-tech boot print, once thought to belong to an intruder, matches Burke's shoes. And a Webster's dictionary, open to the word incest, sits eerily in the house. Was this a child's game gone horribly wrong? A moment of rage between siblings? Or something far darker, hidden by a family desperate to protect their son? The theory is chilling. Burke and JonBenét, alone in the basement, perhaps playing with the knife or cord. A game turns rough. A push, a strike, a scream. A baseball bat or golf club delivers a fatal blow to her skull. The garrote, tied in panic, silences her forever. Burke, just 9, couldn't have meant it, but the consequences were irreversible. Did John and Patsy find their daughter too late, crafting a ransom note to stage a kidnapping? Or is this new evidence pointing to a truth too horrific to face? The answers are closer than ever. Subscribe now to uncover the secrets before they're buried again. Don't let JonBenét's killer slip through the cracks. Join us now. The Stein family, Glenn and Susan, were more than friends to the Ramseys. They were their lifeline. On Christmas night, the Ramseys stopped by their home, just 84 seconds away, to drop off a gift. Susan Stein described a cheerful visit, but never mentioned JonBenét's state, awake, asleep, or something else. 2 days earlier, at the Ramseys' Christmas party, a mysterious 911 call was made, abruptly hung up. Susan answered the police through the intercom, dismissing it as a guest mistake, refusing entry. Why was she the gatekeeper? What was she hiding? After JonBenét's death, the Steins became the Ramseys' shield. Susan quit her job to care for Patsy full-time, cooking, managing visitors, even chasing reporters off their doorstep. She earned the nickname Patsy's Pitbull for her fierce loyalty. But her actions went further. Between 2000 and 2003, Susan sent fake emails impersonating Boulder Police Chief Mark Beckner, praising pro-Ramsey articles and swaying investigators. Traced to her Atlanta address, she called it a prank, but the timing, during heightened legal pressure, suggests a calculated move to control the narrative. Was Susan protecting Patsy, or something bigger? Then, the Stein's son, Doug, enters the frame. Burke's close friend, he was at the Ramsey home that Christmas night. Could he have stayed to play, joining Burke in the basement? The Boy Scout knife, the cord, the boot print, could they point to Doug as well? After JonBenét's death, the Steins fled to Atlanta with the Ramseys, Glenn taking a job at John's company. Their children attended nearby schools, their lives intertwined. Was this loyalty, or a pact to keep a secret buried? Did Doug witness something that night, or worse, play a role in the tragedy? Detective Linda Arndt knew the truth was in the Ramsey home that morning. As John carried JonBenét's body from the basement, Contaminating the crime scene, Linda's instincts screamed. The killer was still there. She locked eyes with John, inches apart, and felt a chill. "I know who killed JonBenét," she later said, but couldn't name him. But John's actions were inexplicable. He moved the body, covered it with a blanket, called his pilot for a flight to Atlanta hours later. A grieving father, or a man erasing evidence? The investigation collapsed before it began. No backup arrived for Linda, alone with 9 people in a chaotic crime scene. She called for support, but was told her team was in a meeting. An ambulance drove past without stopping. The house remained unsecured, evidence trampled. Linda called it the Twilight Zone, a system failing a murdered child. Was it incompetence, or was someone pulling strings to protect the Ramseys? The truth was slipping away, and only those who stay with us will catch it. Subscribe now to expose the cover-up before it's too late. Don't let justice for JonBenét fade into silence. Act now. Boulder, Colorado, a picturesque town hiding a darker truth. Former Detective Steve Thomas wrote of corruption running deep, though he couldn't prove it. In 2022, 5 Boulder officers, including a Ramsey case investigator, faced discipline for neglecting cases, ignoring DNA leads. John Ramsey's son, John Andrew, called it a demotion, a sign of systemic failure. Was this why the investigation stalled? In 1999, a grand jury voted to indict John and Patsy for child abuse and accessory to a crime, believing they placed JonBenét in danger. But District Attorney Alex Hunter refused to sign, citing insufficient evidence. Was it caution or influence? In 2008, Dame Mary Lacey shocked the world, publicly exonerating the Ramseys based on touch DNA, unidentified male DNA on JonBenét's clothing. But the DNA wasn't conclusive, possibly from incidental contact. Investigators called it a PR stunt, noting Lacey's cozy relationship with the Ramseys' legal team. The DA's office shared police files with their attorneys, a privilege unheard of in murder cases. Rumors swirled of bribery, fueled by John's wealth as CEO of Access Graphics, a Lockheed Martin subsidiary with a scandal-ridden past. Was the system bought, or just broken? JonBenét's beauty pageants, guided by her mother Patsy, placed her in a spotlight that may have drawn predators. Author Steven Singular argues the pageants, a world of glamour and ambition, could have connected her to a child filth ring. Her provocative costumes, public performances, and media exposure made her a target. The grand jury's indictment, though never pursued, suggested the Ramseys endangered JonBenét by exposing her to this world. Did Patsy's dreams for her daughter invite a monster into their lives? Suspects emerged, tied to child filth. Gary Howard Oliva, a local offender, carried JonBenét's photo and a stun gun, but his DNA didn't match. Randy Simons, her pageant photographer, was later convicted of child filth possession, yet cleared by DNA. John Mark Carr confessed in 2006, but his DNA didn't match either. Were these red herrings, or did the pageants expose JonBenét to a network the Ramseys couldn't control? The truth lies just out of reach, waiting to be uncovered. John Ramsey's wealth raised questions. As CEO of Access Graphics, a Lockheed Martin subsidiary, he lived lavishly, private planes, luxury cars, a sprawling home. But his career was checkered with past firings for embezzlement. Some theorize he used his plane for drug trafficking, or Access Graphics for money laundering, exploiting Lockheed's lax oversight. The company's rapid dissolution after JonBenét's murder fueled suspicion. Did John's business dealings invite enemies? Was the ransom note's $118,000 demand, matching his bonus, a clue to a deeper motive? The Steins' move to Atlanta, Glenn working for John's company, suggests more than friendship. Were they protecting a corporate secret? The ransom note, written on Ramsey paper, and foreign DNA point to an intruder, yet John's quick exit to Atlanta with the Steins feels coordinated. Did they know the killer's identity, shielding it to protect illicit dealings? Or were they guarding Burke, their lives entwined to keep a child's mistake buried? The evidence screams for answers, but the silence is deafening. Nearly 3 decades later, the JonBenét Ramsey case remains a wound that won't heal. New evidence, Burke's knife, the pineapple, the Stein's loyalty, points to a truth buried by wealth, influence, and a broken system. The Boulder police and DA's office clashed, evidence was mishandled, leads ignored. John Ramsey pushes for genetic genealogy to test the DNA, but Boulder hesitates. Is it pride, incompetence, or something darker keeping this case unsolved? JonBenét's story is a mirror of our failures. A child lost, a family shielded, a truth obscured. Was Burke involved in a tragic accident? Did the Steins help cover it up? Or does the answer lie in a corporate conspiracy or a pageant predator? The evidence is louder now, but the silence persists. Justice for JonBenét waits, and only those who seek it will find it. From tragedy came change. The Ramsey case forced reforms, better crime scene protocols, advanced DNA testing, victim advocacy laws. But for JonBenét, the fight continues. Her killer is out there, and the truth is closer than ever.